Alright. Time for a Jarvan game. I will be showing you how you can easily abuse this champion to escape low elo very, very quickly. Like, this is definitely at the moment one of the best champions, if not the best champion to climb solo queue with. So yeah, I'll be showing you how to do it. I'll explain everything. It'll all make sense. We are good. Now again, low elo game. Yes? Okay. Everyone's aware. No comments like it, please. Thank you. Good. Starting off with E here, I'll be against a Briar, which I do have to be slightly careful for, because Briar is a bit of a scary champion to 1v1 for the most part, so I do have to be a bit respectful there. These plants got me a little worried. I'm just gonna stop hitting it for now. The leash is really good, so I don't want to smite it, but I also, in that situation, don't want to like keep hitting it and let the plants get it on accident, right? So, yeah. Start with E because it gives attack speed to everybody, including yourself, of course. So it's going to be the best thing to start with, clear speed-wise, especially in a leash situation as well. Here we go, get those out of the way. And initially, we are just going to look for a full clear. It is by far the most consistent thing you can possibly do in any situation, in any given situation. So I would always recommend it. Now here, try to just group them together as much as possible, land your flag on as many things as possible, and just let your pet do the work for the most part. Now we're going to focus on small ones here. Hit a nice flag. Okay, missed one. There we go. Good. Take your W here. You don't need the potion for your clear whatsoever. It's definitely not necessary. Even without a leash, you'll be very healthy. You could just take your shield at level 3 and you're not going to have any issues. Biggest thing here is just like split your damage enough to the point where the small ones will die, and focus the big one as much as possible. With the relatively recent Jarvan nerfs, your clear speed is a bit slower than it used to be, due to the passive now having less damage. So that is affecting your clear speed the most. That you went into Narnia. Okay, cool. So that's going to cost your clear speed a bit, but that's really all it is. Jarvan is still extremely strong. Okay. Back this out a bit. We're going to just drag it over here. I apparently griefed myself a bit. My bad. I thought I had a little bit better setup there for the drag, but yeah, just gonna smite the Gromp now and be fine. Normally I wouldn't really smite anything, but yeah, I whoopsied myself a bit there. Thought I could drag it in and just get it with the Q, but that was not the case. There it is, level 4. Relatively healthy, nothing too much to worry about. I'm not going to use any of my skills here in case the Briar right now shows up and tries to fight me. Just auto attack this down. Ideally, you'd have your smite for this as well, but it doesn't have to be the case. Finish this, and then we're just going to look for this situation in mid, maybe. Wait with your EQ as long as physically possible to guarantee the hit. He just went back in to die, maybe. I'm going to take a lot of minion damage here. Okay, well, Briar is mid now. I'll just flash out of this deal, I think. Oh, there's the flash. Shield myself. Nope, did that Briar. Cool, not a worry. I maybe griefed my gank a little bit there, but it's all good. This is, I think, actually, I'll happily take this, because that doesn't give me a kill. It actually ints the enemy team a little bit, so puts me behind even further. So, not a big deal, actually. Right here, I have to really quickly run to my Raptors. Instead of going towards this, I have to run to my Raptors because the Briar is going to do my Raptors. The Raptors are going to respawn here, as you can see, and I just have to make sure that the Briar doesn't take these from me. I have a pickaxe on him, so he should never be able to beat me here. And the timing on that is really bad for me, actually, because she got the damage reduction, which means I don't actually get to finish that. One auto attack there. You have Berserk, which shouldn't matter because I have a pickaxe advantage. And gives me a double kill. But this is why we run to Raptors in that specific instance instead of just running to Krugs. Obviously, a bit of a mistake there for me, which I didn't really think about in the moment, was the fact that Briar obviously has the damage reduction. I still have to get used to playing against that champion a little bit. I should have just waited for that to disappear before I EQ'd the Briar. So that was a mistake on my end. But still, that's good. So off of this, we can basically, because the enemy jungler went a little too aggressive and we defend the camp, get 2 kills back, even though my first gank was pretty bad. You know, whatever. It happens. I'll happily take it. Beautiful. Another clear here. We're just making sure to get the second rotation of our camps right now for the most part. Getting the second rotation here is very important. Just keeping a consistent clear is extremely, extremely valuable for like winning games, really. Like, no matter what happened in this gank, this is also something to note, right? No matter what happened in that gank, whether I got the kill on the cannon or whether I died, which I ended up dying, of course. Even if I died here, I would have still mostly gotten my camps consistently. So that would have been really good. We see the kill playing very forward here. There might be potential wards in the river, so we're going to walk in with Sweeping Trinket. There is a ward here. Is it going to matter? Map awareness and low elo is relatively bad, so it's actually not going to matter. That's good. Right there, we hold our EQ as long as possible until I close the distance a lot or my laner has CC. And that's really all I do there. Good. Very nice. Good thing about Briar is she's very telegraphed, because Briar will obviously be locked in to certain movement because of her berserk. So it makes landing skill shots on that champion very, very easy. Now here, this scuttle is the upgraded scuttle. So we are just quickly going to take this. And then we are just simply going to be resetting. You could walk all the way across the map here, but I have 2,000 gold. And because I have this much gold, I really need to back first. If I do not back first here, I would be really trolling myself. And that would not be good. So the first item we will be going for is Gore Drinker. I'm buying an extra longsword, which is not in this build, but I couldn't buy anything else, and having the extra longsword is good. Plus, here as well, the Gore Drinker is going to be a guaranteed purchase next back anyway. As you can see, it's only 600 gold, so I will definitely have that on my next recall. I can invest into a longsword building for like a future item, basically. I'm going for my Raptors first in this instance, because I want to make sure that Briar doesn't run out of base and take him. Which is not really a low elo thing to do, if I'm being honest. I could have just gone for Krugs first and cleared up into the Rift Herald. But in a lot of situations there, they could consider walking out of base and just going to your Raptors instantly and potentially taking them. So that is something I did automatically. Probably for like the video, I should have maybe gone for the Krugs instead, actually. Oh well. We're gonna do this. We're gonna ignore Dragon. I do not care about Dragon. We want to get towards this Rift Herald as soon as I can, essentially. Getting Rift Herald is worth way more than getting a Dragon, especially in low elo, because it gives you more gold. Dragon provides your team more value, but honestly, your team, like, cannot be trusted, right? Like, low elo teammates will grief a lot. It is just going to happen. So in this situation here, we always really want to look for this Rift Herald as soon as possible. So that's what I will be doing. I might be able to look for the mid lane gank here, because the cannon obviously is going to play pretty aggressive into a Fizz ultimate. Fizz just killed himself, I think. You need the Fizz ultimate. Okay, that's unfortunate. Cannon doesn't have any escape tools, so I can just do this and this will be fine. My Fizz just inted, so that's kind of unfortunate. I don't think Briar can kill me here. Oh, minion block is very nice, though. Yep. Nice, of course. Okay, I disrespected Briar damage. I am not going to lie to you. I think she critted me a lot on the end there. I could have, like, flashed or eat. The minion block was definitely something. I could have, like, used my escape summoner. Or like anything. I just wanted to like EQ out, maybe bait her into turret range or something. But again, this is a bit of the problem I have. I don't know damage limits from Briar. So I'm dying a lot to that champion at the moment just because I'm not sure. If that makes sense. That's okay though. Right, in this instance, we are still having our eyes on this Rift Herald. We want to get that quite soon. But we can come out of base here and just clear the entire top side going into the Rift Herald. So our camps will be on cooldown. And we won't have a full jungle up, essentially, when doing Rift Herald, which is going to be quite good. I need to respect Briar a bit more. Wonder how many crits she got at the end there, actually, as well. Oh, well. Big thing here is we can smite something, but we have to have one smite ready for Rift Herald still. So that's what we're going to look for. Fine, we have our Gore Drinker. I will be going for Rift Herald in a bit here. If they get Dragon, I don't care. It's something you should not really be caring about too much. As long as you can get this objective and get the Herald to push turret plates with right now, that is going to be definitely the strategy. The Rift Herald itself gives me 300 gold as well, so... Yeah. Skill is low, I get that, but we're finishing Rift Herald first. Objective takes priority in this instance. Just get it, and then we'll kill afterwards, and then we can use the like Herald to push top. Pick it up. Kill's probably going to back off because Herald just died, right? My ult's also going to be up soon, so I should be able to get the kill, perhaps. I think she backed off quite far. I don't know where her vision is at currently either. We can quickly go check like this here. She's obviously going to go for Dragon. That's fine. We're going to see if Kill walks up here, I guess. If she doesn't... Did she actually respectfully recall? She did. Wow. Fair enough, Kill. I respect it. I have time. I have plenty of time here even to place this Herald down. They got Dragon. Again, don't really care too much about that. Okay, they're getting engaged there. And then just use E so we can just go for the play on them. Walk into melee range. EQ him in melee range. Put him in a box. He does have flash apparently. And finish him off with the Q there. That's fine. Now we just shove mid because we want to use this Rift Herald. The wave is very slim here, so we are going to actually just wait out this. Briar just, like, whatever she did bot lane, she did bot lane. We're just shoving the wave. I don't really want to take his farm. He's gonna not lost hit them. Okay. It's fine. Focus him down. Nice. Good. Beautiful. Alright, before we continue with the rest of this video, I quickly wanted to mention that about 60% of the people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do enjoy my content, it would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider subscribing, checking if you're subscribed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. It's still, I'm just gonna do it because this gives me 2 third plates at this range, which I think is gonna be fine because I don't think I'm gonna have many chances to actually place the Herald down afterwards to still get 2 plates worth of value. So as you can see there, I still got 2 plates worth of value. I do split it with my Fizz, which is fine. It's like 175 gold at this moment in time. So I got about 500 gold out of the Rift Herald basically, and I shared some money with my mid laner, which is just very valuable, right? Like the money for yourself is more valuable than the overall team gold, especially at this ELO bracket. Like, it only starts to become a little bit in the other way, like the higher you go basically, where the Dragon becomes more useful. But even in those situations, Rift Herald is still insane. Like, I would still prefer first Herald over first Dragon every single time. Finish all this off. We have a lot of gold, so we definitely want to look towards recalling relatively soon here. Don't be sticking around the map with too much gold. It's always something to keep in mind. Here we go. We're going to go back, and that should allow... Oh, not enough gold. Okay, so in this situation, I could go mid, but the bot lane gank is looking a lot more plausible, which they may have already double killed them before I even got there. I'm just gonna ult him real quick, just in case, like, she was about to, like, heal and kill Varus there or whatever. Actually, I'll just give him some attack speed and then I'll back here. The flag gives him attack speed, so I can just kind of place it down, which might give him the third plate there, but I need to get the reset in as quick as possible. I have way too much gold to consider anything there. If I would have had the money, I probably would have just taken the reset there regardless if I had the money for my item, but the bot lane gank was looking doable. It looks like Zyra's not on a ward. I think that's a dead Varus. Yep, for sure. Should have EQ'd over here. So right now we're just going to do our wolves first and then Gromp and then walk up towards kill to see if we can get that gank off. If the enemy team is a lot more tanky, by the way, instead of Spear of Shojin, you should be going for Black Cleaver. Spear of Shojin is extremely good if the enemy team is not completely tank heavy. If they are completely tank heavy, then the armor penetration from Black Cleaver is better as a second item. But in these situations lately with the game states, it's not really the case like in a lot of situations where it would be better. If cannon walks up, we can hug this wall closely here to avoid the ward here. So we can just go for the cannon. He might be typing. Dead. That's fine. My EQ was apparently slightly out of range there initially. Looks like he was typing to me there because he was just standing still. So that's favorable for us, really. Here we go. We're just going to hit turret. Because we just killed our mid laner. There's no teleport threat or anything here. We're going to move slightly. There's the Briar. Fine. Lethal tempo stack. Not a problem. Don't get hit by that. EQ off of the same thing and then ult him to kill. The EQ off of the same thing is really something you get done with a lot of ability haste. So the more ability haste you have, which is why these items are so good, right? Like especially Shojin as well. You can place one flag down and kind of dance around your flag a bit, like I did right there with the Briar. I danced around the flag so I could get 2 EQs off of one flag, which is really, really good. Okay, he's building crit for Briar with a Infinity Edge Rush. Obviously not the best build, but yeah, in low elo people have some build issues, generally speaking. So let's clear this out. I can basically kind of wait for my ultimate. I also want to get my smite upgrade going into the dragon that's going to spawn in about 10 seconds. I definitely want to put a little bit more priority on this specific dragon right here, because now obviously it's not first herald anymore. First herald is worth more to me than first dragon, but second dragon is worth more than second herald. So I will be going for this dragon on spawn basically. We see the Briar there, which I kind of expected. So we can just kind of do this here. We have a smite upgrade, so we'll have a 1200 smite here as well. It's looking quite nice. And then we should just be able to finish the dragon pretty easily here. Now, in this situation here, I could maybe look at these bot side camps, but I'd rather play for the next objective, because this thing is still worth 300 gold, right? So that's really good. Okay, so Lucidity Boots next, and then we're going to go for Frozen Heart. Now, I want you to note something here. Normally speaking, if you don't have instant money like I had for Spear of Shojin, you would buy your CDR boots after the Gore Drinker for the ability haste. Because ability haste is like the most valuable stat possible in Jarvan. But if you don't have the money for an instant Shojin, then you obviously just buy the boots after your Gore Drinker. But in this game specifically, I had the money for an instant Shojin, so I did that instead, which is just better. But there's definitely like that distinction to be made. In case you did not know or are wondering, it's fine. Focus the Briar. I combo smite there with build damage. Oh, I think I... Oh, okay, no, we're good. Kill him. Thank you. Perfect. That is quite literally just Jarvan things. Go in, you're fine. Oh. I'm obviously on a ward, so I don't think this is going to work. Oh, he ran down. Okay. You can see the low cooldown on my flag combo, by the way. Like, it's really low cooldown. There again. I can easily chase this. The flag cooldown is way too low. I think he walked down this way, so we're just going to go here. Slow him with that. Slow him with this. No, okay. EQ him again. Look at that chase potential, man. Like, look at how good CDR chase potential is on Jarvan. Chased him across the map with a bunch of EQ combos, and there's just nothing he could have done. Back there. He's dead to taunt damage. Combo him. Perfect. The cooldown on this is absolutely disgusting. And this is what makes Jarvan absolutely broken, by the way. Like, the fact that you can EQ that many times. Like, I can EQ several times off of a single flag, which is absolutely insane. Like, almost 3 there. If I had a little bit more abilities, I'd make 3. Which is really, like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, these low spell cooldowns is what make Jarvan broken as hell. So the passive damage nerf is, like, doesn't really do anything, right? Now, in this specific situation, I have a lead, and I want you to know that when you have a lead like this and you feel confident in yourself, being able to win certain fights, you really want to pressure the enemy jungler's camps as much as possible. So instead of walking down to my bot side camps here or doing anything else, I know that Briar is dead because I just killed her. So my priority here goes to clearing all of her camps instead. Like, really taking as much as I can here is the most important thing I can do. Go in. Build for double damage on them both. And then another EQ combo real quick, because we have it up and we are very strong. And then we hold our E or hold our Q here for another EQ combo. So we have it up as soon as possible. And that's really all you have to do. Like, you can see, like, I'm making sure to get those EQ combos off every single time. Very, very important. All right, we take the reset here because we have a lot of money. Oh, and they FF'd it. Yeah, that's it for Jarvan. I'll do game number 2 as well and show you consistency. So I'll see you guys in 2 seconds. Alright, time for the second game of this video. My Katarina just got first blood. Okay, interesting. I will be playing against a K on this one, which, again, no real issues. Jarvan, very, very strong champion. Absolutely insane. So I don't have to worry about that. Ward this once again to see if I get invaded, and we're just gonna go start on the red buff. I'd always recommend starting red buff, by the way, because yeah, just whatever side, like either here red buff or there red buff, just start red buff. on Jarvan. Red buff is a very, very strong start. We'll see if there's like invades here going on, which I don't think they will be, but doesn't look like I'm getting any leashes in this one, specifically this game, so I guess I'll have to live with that, which is not the biggest deal in the world. Obviously, I'm going to take slightly more damage because I don't have a leash, so that's something to keep in mind here. But yeah, smite there. Definitely smite the first camp if you don't get a leash. There's no doubt about that. Good. Just EQ a bit here. Save myself a hit there. Focus the big one mostly, let the pet kill the small one. You can also kind of dance the pet like this, or the small Krug around the big one like that, if you want to. Something to potentially do. Taking a bit more damage here because obviously no leash, but you can absolutely take the potion if you feel like that's necessary for yourself. By the way, there's not a problem whatsoever. But you don't have to take the potion. Like, I want to show you here again that you just don't have to take the potion. Your sustain will be fine. You might be taking a little bit more damage in this specific scenario right now, but it'll be basically compensated and covered with your W on level 3, so you don't have to worry too much. Warwick won the initial play on top. We are just going to look for a full clear just like we did game 1. Absolutely go for the full clear. Very, very consistent stuff. And now you basically just use your W pretty frequently and you should be good. One auto attack on both small ones there with your passive hit. And then we just finish the camp. Could have EQ'd instead of QE'd, but that's fine. We're going to do Gromp first because we want a slightly better respawn for our second sequence with our camps. Because if we do blue first, it's going to be about a 20-second delay on Gromp afterwards, which is not the best for your second rotation clear. We are finishing our full clear though. For sure here. I will try not to grief it 2 times in a row. Hit it down, EQ in, and right before it hits us, we press the shield. We just auto attack it down. Obviously a bit slow now, especially like the passive nerfs definitely affected Jarvan's clear speed. But also I just didn't get a leash, right? So if you get a leash, it's definitely going to save you a bunch of time. Now we see the Warg pushed very far forward. We could do the scuttle here, but because of wave positioning, okay, there's a K. I'm probably not going to fight the K here, simply because the Warg is in such a position that I don't think I can. Okay, I might be able to EQ him here. Katarina's here, so now I'm no longer in isolation range, and this is why I am going in. Auto attack there for a flash, and Katarina gets him with Ignite. Don't get feared. Slow him there. He's not going to try to fight us. That's fine. So initially, I wasn't going to take the fight because of the Warwick's wave state. Warwick had colossal pressure on the Katarina, on my Aurelia there, sorry. And if I take the fight there, I would be in isolation range against the K, and I'd have negative wave priority, which is just not a strong combination, right? I don't want to be going for that. Don't want to be dealing with that, so we're not going to be dealing with that. Now, instead of going for this gank, because I know Warwick is basically just going to outplay us, that champion will win that 2v1, honestly. Like, I'm not even memeing. He's quite strong. We're just going to catch the respawn of these camps on bot side. You want to get the sequence. This camp basically spawns at roughly 4 minutes 20, thereabouts, after your first clear. So you kind of want to always look at your timer a bit and see if you can catch this as close to that timer as you possibly can to get a second sequence in. So you can do a bunch of things initially, but catching this is definitely a priority in most cases. So that's something to keep in mind. So we're just going to go for another clear here. Don't have to worry about things too much. We did get 1 kill, or Katarina got 1 kill on the K, which is nice and all. Pop a danger ping there because the K is going to be bot lane. Yep. It's okay. I have some options to maybe look for mid. I think Lux is going to back off right now. Okay, I might have to help this guy. Get the level 5 off the camp. Slow him there. Don't EQ him just yet. EQ him now. If I can like land it. If I E too early, I might be getting a bad position. That's in range. Perfect. Nice. Good, good, good. That's all I needed. Lux did get the kill. But yeah, we basically use our EQ as late as possible to try to guarantee the hit. I'm going to use EQ for a bit of mobility here because this is still a pretty long walk. So my skills should be up in time, or relatively in time. And it saves me a little bit of distance. Yeah, in that situation here, you saw against the K, I made sure to use my EQ. Try to guaranteed land it in melee range. Make it as easy to land as possible. And then, yeah, I can go from there. Don't try to snipe him from max range. That is generally a bad thing to do. Ooh, nice. Warwick died in return. Not too bad. Yeah, whatever. By the time I get there, there'll only be like 3 minions or so. And it's not worth it, really, because I get more XP value out of my camps. Alright, smite this. Let's take a reset once again. With the way we've cleared, this should spawn relatively soon once again here. We're going to focus on buying our Gore Drinker first. That's like the biggest priority. Just going to go out of base, do the red buff, hit level 6 off red buff, and then I might be able to look for a dragon, potentially. What's something to note here is, though, I have 24 stacks on my Moss Stomper currently, and these camps, these two, will respawn relatively soon. There it is, as you can see, basically on point. I'm going to do red into Krugs, into Raptors, and if I get one sweet within that duration, I'll have a smite upgrade going into a potential dragon or a potential Rift Herald. Now again, as in the first game, I want to play for the 35-second Rift Herald more than I want to play for this dragon. So what am I going to do? I'm going to clear up into the Rift Herald right now. So we're going to do red buff, Krugs, Raptors, they will respawn. And then off of that, at the 8-minute mark, or a little bit after the 8-minute mark here, of course, we will be going for that Rift Herald play. Once again, same as the previous game, we want to make sure we have that. It's a very, very strong thing to go for. So we're just going to be nice and consistent with it. Going to do the Raptors first here. This will give us, as you can see, because we got the sweet, it will give us the 20 stack, which is going to give me a smite upgrade. Ka will not have this smite upgrade, so this is going to give me an advantage on the Rift Herald smite in this situation. So that's going to be nice. Also, Top Skull is up here, so we might as well go and look to take that. I got hit by the Lux thing. Not ideal. Ka's bot lane. Beautiful for us, because it means we get a Rift Herald for free, basically. I'll do Scuttle. It's fine. I can just do this quickly. He might go for Dragon here once again, especially like if he knows I'm going to do Rift Herald, but again, doesn't matter. We want this Rift Herald more than anything else. People don't really check Rift Herald either, so you generally don't even have to worry about it doing it at all. Just do it near spawn and you're good. Alright. The biggest thing here is just make sure your flag is down, because it gives you an attack speed increase. That was an interesting one. I E'd first, but it didn't register. Okay. Oh, okay, that's a bit of a problem. Open your eye, please. Thank you. Smite advantage gets me this every time, regardless. I think he might be here, though. There he is. Wait for his leap, ideally, before I EQ. He's probably going to leap in that direction. Fine. He already positioned himself going into a certain direction, so I didn't have to wait anymore. Even if he leapt and I missed my EQ combo, he's going to die to my ultimate, if that makes sense in that situation. I'm always trying to look with my EQ combo to where they're going to go, and if I'm going to have the highest chance of landing it, whether it's a guaranteed land or if I'm going to have chase potential. And if I'm going to have chase potential, then I would always, like, especially kill potential as well, which I had with ult there, obviously. Then I would just EQ chase in the direction they were going to go anyway. And finish it off like that. So because Ka is dead, we want to take his camps in this situation, right? Like I want to take his red buff because I knew it was up because he didn't have it. My red buff didn't like refresh or anything. Here he is. I need to be careful with the fight situation because the enemy Warwick is significantly stronger than my Aurelia. So if I try to fight the Ka in that specific situation, one, my ult would be on cooldown. But I'd always have to deal with a much stronger Warwick who could lose me the fight very quickly. So we're just going to get out as fast as possible. And right here, we have our entire jungle sequence up, so we could just go for that. I don't really want to gank a Warwick. Again, Warwick is a very scary champion to gank, especially if your Aurelia is rather weak. It is going to be a very Warwick favorite situation. If my top lane was a little bit more even, I would consider it, but it is definitely not the case. Get this down. We have a very, very strong recall in a bit here. So instead of going for an actual full clear here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my top side right now. Then I'm going to back, and out of base, I will have all my money spent, and then I can go play for the bot lane objective at this point. It's going to be my thing right now. I can't, since he didn't do dragon, I want to now play for this dragon if possible. So we're going to go back here. Get both of these. We don't have anything to play for anymore on top side now. So now we are going to look to see if we can go take this dragon. I could walk down here, but I'm going to walk into this direction because he's going to go for Scuttle. Shaco's going to walk up in this position here, and I might be able to do something about this guy. He leapt into that. That's really good. His leap is now on cooldown. We close the distance on him. Hopefully get within ult range. So he doesn't have leap or flash now, so he's just gonna die here. There you go. Ult to close distance, and then we EQ basically when it's a guaranteed land. I already with the CDR boots have quite a significant amount of haste, so that's gonna be good for me. That's a level up. I was considering Dragon there, but I didn't think I could really do it in that situation. Because my bot lane is quite low. Shaco doesn't have any mana, so actually not going to go for it there. Just going to calmly chill here. I need to use this Rift Herald in the next 2 minutes, or before it disappears. On turret platings, Warwick is also here, so I have to respect that even more. They might go for this Dragon and might actually just straight up get it because of the Warwick showing up. So I'm just going to go give up Dragon because Warwick is here, and instead I'm just going to go for his turret and place the Herald down. I don't feel like fighting this. Warwick's very strong. My Aphelios has like half HP, so instead I'm just going to go top and just hit the turret here. Warwick doesn't have teleport. Nobody can do something about this, really. I want to use my Rift Herald later, by the way. I don't want to use it instantly here. I want to use it a little bit later because the turret gets progressively tankier. So the later I use the Rift Herald, the better. So about now, I should be able to Herald, and then we can kill this turret plating by just auto-attacking it down. And then at like just under 2 plates, hopefully. Maybe that's slightly too early. The Rift Herald bounce will kick in. You can see the armor shoot up here. You can see the turret got so much tankier now. I used my Rift Herald slightly too early there, admittedly. Another flag for this, and then we're going to lower the wave. It's still fine because we still get it. The Warwick decided to go for the Dragon, obviously. So instead of that, we want to use our Rift Herald. I'm not going to try to fight a Dragon. I still don't care about the first Dragon. But this gives me a colossal amount of gold shared between me and Aurelia, because I get an entire turret worth of gold shared between us, which is extremely good, extremely valuable stuff. But that's something to note about Dragon. Like, you don't have to contest it there. If you're at a numbers disadvantage, you can always look at a play on the other side of the map to compensate, which in this case I was able to do with my Rift Herald. He doesn't have any mana, so he's basically dead here. Lux doesn't have any mobility, so I'm just going to ult him up front. She flashed, that's fine. I made sure the last hit there, that's fair enough. Yeah. Against champs that don't have any mobility, I will try to EQ like that. If they flash it, then it's not really an issue, because they were going to flash it anyway, if that makes sense. And I'd have an ult to chase, in this specific scenario at least. But also, like, if they end up using flash for one of your EQ cooldowns, it's a worth it trade in the end anyway, right? Like, you don't have to worry about that too much. Good. We have 42 seconds on Rift Herald, which should allow us about enough time to actually just clear some camps here. I obviously, like, I don't really want to go for this scuttle here because Warwick's a little scary at the moment. It's definitely a champion I want to respect in this scenario. Just clear my camps here, hit my smite upgrade for the 1200 value, which is something I'm definitely looking for here. And then after that, I can maybe look for like a Herald or something out of base. I'm also quite close to an item which I will not be able to purchase sadly on this back, but relatively close. And this enemy team is pretty squishy, so I will be going for a Spear of Jojin once again. Oh, he did end up doing my camp. Interesting. Okay, I'll just take the reset then. Not much else for me to be doing here. I have a lot of gold. Rift Herald just spawned. I was just bot lane, so I'm just going to go up there again. Buy the... okay, in this situation, I'll buy this. Generally, I buy the ability haste first, but in this specific scenario, having the extra 25 attack damage from pickaxe seems a little bit more valuable to me than a bit of haste. I'll do that instead. Yeah, if this was like Sejuani jungle or something, that's when I would maybe consider a cleaver, but they're relatively squishy once again. I'm gonna hit this camp first to hit my level up. Level 11 is a very big level up, so I definitely want to look to get that before anything else. And then we're gonna try to look for something. It's right here, looking to do Rift Herald. The Warwick will most likely show up for this. I would need my team, so I'm just gonna spam assist ping and hopefully they react. Which is really all you can do. Rift Herald's gonna be up for a while, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Good. Regardless there, I initially didn't want to go in quickly, but with like kill situations like that, you would always want to throw your E down close towards your team. So the more you can throw your E down close towards your teammates, the better, because this gives you an assist on the kill if it happens. So in that situation, Warwick was going to die actually. So my team was going to get the kill on him, and if I throw a flag down real quick, I will get an assist, which is really, really helpful. Obviously, I EQ'd it in this case, but I could have just done the flag and been fine. Get another Rift Herald here, and then we can potentially look for the Lux here, because her turret's now down. So we can easily just hop over the wall, get a nice position behind her. And I don't think she has flash, so I think she just dies instantly, basically. Wait for the next EQ. All good. Not gonna ult, don't have to. I'll ult when I need it. Because right now I could just like EQ once again here. Boom. And then they're on top of each other with the two of them. I have my E placed in a favorable position, so Ka just dies. But I'm not ulting there because I don't have to ult there, right? I can use my ult much later. Lux Snare doesn't affect Jarvan EQ. So the Snare basically does nothing as long as your EQ is off cooldown. And my EQ is on such a low cooldown because of my items that I don't have to worry about it. She can never run away from you. Or, as you saw with the cannon in the previous game, right? Like I chased them across the map because my EQ cooldown is so low. And this is why like CDR boots are taken and stuff like that. It's just very, very, very strong. Yep. Good. Good look for bot lane here for sure. Hold your EQ cooldown as long as possible until you're pretty much guaranteed to land it, which in this case it was because she didn't like flash out or anything. Echo takes kill, sure. Get ignited as well. Oh, got it with red buff at least. Okay, not bad. I don't really want to herald the turret here. I'd prefer heralding either this turret or this turret, but in this case the dragon's up, so we're just gonna go for that. You don't have to rush into using your herald on anything because the herald is a long time. You have it for like 4 or 5 minutes or something. It's really long. Smite there. Focus on the objective real quick here. Get the Yasuo down. Getting heavily body blocked by Aphelios there. I'm actively trying to take Scuttle. Okay. Might be able to look for bot lane here. Lux is in not the best position ever. We just go over, lock her in the box because she doesn't have... Oh, she actually got a flashback. Okay, fair. But still, in this situation, it is a flash cooldown from Lux for my 70-second ult cooldown, so I'm not too worried about it regardless. I thought his flash was still on cooldown, though. Can I walk into this? We'll get hit by this, put the flag behind us for some attack speed, and just hit turret. Far enough away so the charm doesn't do anything. Get the turret down. And at this moment in time, this is where I would herald, because this would go into a second-tier turret. These side lane second-tier turrets are 600 local gold. So that's why I want to use it for those turrets if possible. Unless mid lane turret is still up, I will always do that. It's going to get damage. My team is getting engaged on, so I'm going to have to help them on the back end first. Which is what I do there. The turret's now low, so I can finish it off later. Going over the wall here is relatively risky. Because that'd be a turret dive, obviously, without ult. I know that blue is up, so I'm just going to calmly chill. Get my mana back up with this blue buff, so that's what we're going to go for here. Play it nice and calm. I will smite that. Because I do not trust the Shaco not to take it, if that makes sense. That there's a question mark ping, exactly. He was going to try to take that from me for no reason, and that would have cost me experience for no reason. He gets the buff regardless. So, it is just a thing I just don't trust people to do. I really want to get this turret down because it's 600 gold, so ideally, even though I am very rich here, I should still be strong enough to the point where I think I can just do this. And maybe just auto-attack the turret a couple times here. Okay. Oh, that's not both. Okay, my bad. My position... I should have ulted the Seraphine there, then I would have hit both. And we hit the turret down for a lot of money. Obviously, it was not as much money here because we had to split it with a lot of people. But I will now definitely be taking my reset and spending my money. I only did that play because I could afford to do that play. And then here we're going to go Frozen Heart and then Spirit Visage. And after Spirit Visage, I'd get a Cleaver. And this way you'd have resistances for both. And you'll have a lot of damage. And yeah, if you already have a Cleaver, you can go like something else as well to finish it off. But that's it for Jarvan. I'll see you guys in the endgame stats for this game. Alright, so for the endgame stats for the second game here only, I ended up doing 11.4k damage, which is the second highest in the game, just behind Warwick. So that's pretty good. True damage at 300, just smite damage. Objective damage, which is a big focus here, obviously, right at the 35.7k. This is always a big thing to focus on. This is what's going to allow you to win games at a more reasonable pace. So this is good, instead of dragging it out. Healing done at 11.2k. Damage taken at 16k here. Self-mitigated damage at 16.6. Gold earned at a nice consistent 11.6. This is mostly, obviously, just a consistent pathing, and then obviously a lot of Rift Herald gold. I got a colossal amount of gold from doing the top lane turret instead of taking the dragon when Warwick rotated down. That was a big gold income alongside the 2 heralds I took, which is an additional 600 gold. So I got like roughly out of a single, like out of the both heralds, I probably got about 1,500 to 2,000 gold, somewhere in that region, which is pretty much the difference between me and the rest of this game. So that's a lot of gold to be had, and that's why you take those and focus those, really. For the runes here, the Conqueror healed me for only 200, but the adaptive damage is a lot more of a relevant factor here that you do not see. So yeah, there is that. For the Triumph, not too much here. Obviously, a bit of a shorter game, so it wasn't going to drag out. But Triumph is very good on Jarvan because your flag gives you assists. So you are going to get a lot of kill participation on Jarvan, which means Triumph is going to proc a lot in fights, giving you healing, but also additional gold. So that's why you want that. And Tenacity here, CC reduction. Last Stand is the one you want, even though it did only 95 damage, and it might do lower damage in certain games. It is better to have Last Stand in closer fights, especially in the early game, to be able to snowball off of those slight wins. Than have like coup de grace for a bit more damage overall, but a bit less relevant damage as a trade-off. And then Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight. Again, finishing off the build, a very standard build is just going to be Gore Drinker into CDR Boots, into Spear of Shojin, into Frozen Heart, into Spirit Visage, and then you have a +1 item, which can be Shireldia's Grudge. It can be Black Cleaver if you need additional armor penetration. Grudge is just a very good burst damage item in general. It can even be a Stone Plate if you want to be a bit more tanky. And those are really your options. If you already build a Black Cleaver in this spot here, then generally I end up going with Grudge, because I don't really like buying Spear of Shojin as a late game item, because you already have a lot of ability haste at that point. A Spear of Shojin is more of a second item if they are not that tanky to be picked up. So that is something to consider there. And then as a final item instead, if I went Cleaver, I would go Grudge, because then I want double armor penetration items, because the moment I picked Cleaver, I'd want to have more armor penetration into a team like that, because they are most likely going to be a lot tankier, and then the armor penetration is just going to be extremely valuable. So yeah, that is it for Jarvan. I hope you guys enjoyed both games. If you did, make sure to like button below and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye.